everybody little tapping with the pot with Tigmatic.
Y'all tuned into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
With the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Muslim dying family, free kill king. One for your brother, what you want for yourself. One for your sister, what you want for yourself.
Hey king, I got
it. Chia, a rapper and a shooter like Shia Ali.
Right.
A hustler and a Muslim like Sheikh Ali.
Wallahi.
West Side King, I don't need ID. They killed my little cousin, damn PIP. Peace in paradise. I'm on the block like a pair of dice. I treat these products like a pair of Nikes. I'm Ramadan sober, I got my bands right. Black Koofy, black Dickie, that's what I wear at night. I did it for the fam, I ain't stingy. My wife won properties, my son won Balenci's. 2,000 for the jeans, the Thobe custom Fendi. When Meek was chasing his dream, I was chasing the Benjis. Bird gang, I'm like the Jimmy of my city, black excellence. I'm like the Diddy of my city.
Take that.
West Philly, I'm the mayor around there. Watch your body, you can get air around there. Can I dean? Can I dean?
I'm on my dean, nigga.
Can I dean?
I know some rich Muslims keep prayer rugs in the back of the Rolls Royces, nigga. Prayer rugs on the yacht.
Can I
gun in his car. When he jump out, go to the mosque and pray. He got ops, so COVID is the excuse to use his mask and pray. The imam gonna tell you the same thing that the pastor say. I got Muslim brothers want me take my shahada just like Cassius Clay. Lord forgive us, cause we've been out here getting cash off, yay. I've been lost in the street like Tom Hanks in the Castaway. Fucking pretty bitches trying to find me a place to crash and stay in every night. Swear you can hear somebody blast the K. We got whips and chains, but we ain't listening to what Master say. I'm a no-limit soldier, I've been listening to Master pay. Wallahi, I'm grateful, I still give thanks when I break fast. Catching me at the light, you can see Ferrari on my brake pads. On my Dean, prayer rugs in back of the Wraith. I keep a 40 cal that be stashed in back of the safe. Listen, scary moment if I'm ever cracking the safe. I know I got one to the head, I got one in the head that's in back of the safe.
Can I ding? Can I ding? Can I ding? Can I ding?
Ready?
Gang time.
Light 'em up.
Perico. Montega music. We head hunting. Okay, now last time I pulled up, I had them all sick. All white coupe, look like 20s on the brick. The 40 go blow, if you don't duck, you get hit. You gon' meet your demise, tryna fuck with my chips. Hands down, any given flow, I'm the best out. That includes everyone, ain't nobody left out. Alive or not breathing, I rise with the heathen. Skeletons in my closet, you don't wanna meet the demons. Remember I was down at the bottom, looking up. They was like dice, I grabbed him and shook him up. Put a price on his head, I won him, I getting touched. It's a lot of niggas mad, they hate to see you come up. Pussy in the swimming pool, bitches in the living room. It's really hold 1,000 rounds, what you trying to get into? Big bullets, bust a nigga brains like an inner tube. Blow his head off, talk about it in the interview. This just something like, it's like I'm on autopilot, I don't even write. Bring the pistol to the fight. The dope got the fiends dancing, look like Thriller Night. You gotta shoot him in his face, they tell if you don't kill him right. All it takes a jealous nigga to envy to start a war. Big shit, rip through the walls and tear the door up. Catch him out in traffic, it's 50 and flip a tour bus. We making noise, you hear it, you can't ignore us. Hands down, ball for ball, nigga, I'm the best here. If hating was a crime, y'all all get the death check. Shout to homie Gilly, Southwest 5-2, nigga, this is Philly. Nigga, we get busy. There's 500 horses, bet the Porsche could pop a Willie. Find out a nigga better, I'ma find him, I'ma kill him. I came to make a million. Spill his blood, paint the town red with a pity. And my bitch pretty. The feds wanna roof me. Niggas wanna shoot. I go to my teller, I tell that nigga bulletproof me. I had to stop writing, I was burning all the loose leaf. Perico signing off, turn this bitch into a movie, I'm gone.
Yo, what's up, y'all? You're now tuned into another episode of the podcast with Tigmatic, and it's your boy. Hey, listen, I hope y'all 4th of July weekend, it's still booming, it's still here, we here, but the show must go on, y'all. You already know. Once again, as always, this episode was brought to you by Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio, Hollywood music as well. But listen, we here. Listen, folks, it's a little hot outside, but it's real chill down here in North Carolina. My birthday was the day before the 4th, so I turned another year, of course. But we moving and booming, y'all. And I got a guest here today who is multi-talented and plays multiple instruments. We're going to get into it. As always, for those watching for the first time, this is the show that talks about the struggle artists, businessmen and women, and more go through while having to entertain the world of pursuing their career and how they overcame those obstacles. We share and we serve as an inspiration to the youth. So we here, y'all. So, like I said, I have a special guest today, and like I said, he plays multiple instruments and he makes music. He's very good at what he does, and we're gonna get into it. So, without further ado, I give you, as he has, E.B. Cuzzo, also known as Erech Bruce. What's going on, my guy?
How you feeling, man? What's going on, man?
Hey, man, welcome to the podcast with Tigmatic.
Hey, man, appreciate you having me, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm glad you're here. You know, we're going to chop it up. But right now, you have the floor. And I like to let my guests give themselves a formal introduction to my viewers. And before we get into that, shout out to the viewers. Puerto Rico, Tokyo, Bangladesh, Germany, Congo, California, Philly, New York, New Jersey, Florida. Shout out to Power 105 and Dollar Radio in Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. I see y'all. Shout out to my guys, Smiley. Florida Tropics is back. The ABA is back. Y'all get y'all tickets. We moving and booming out here, y'all. But yeah, man, the floor is yours, my guy. And give yourself an introduction.
Yeah, like you said, man, my name's Erech Bruce, E.B. Cuzzo on Instagram, multi-instrumentalist, musician, artist, you know what I'm saying? I do music. 23 years old, right now based in Peoria, Illinois. Yeah, man, just love music, love everything about it, and I love the process of creating, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, so what kind of music you make?
So I'm very versatile as far as my styles. So I do a lot of R&B, you know what I'm saying? I also rap, but I also do like jazz fusion, blues, and soul music.
Okay, that's dope. That's definitely dope. All right, so you said you play several instruments, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me what instruments you play.
So I play violin, guitar, drums, bass, and keys.
Oh man, are you self-taught or you went to school?
So as far as violin, I was self-taught for years, you know what I'm saying? But um the other instruments I was self-taught. So I had
Okay.
private lessons on violin for years through school and privately, but the rest of the instruments, was self-taught.
Oh man, that's dope. So let's take us back to your childhood for a second. What was it?
Okay,
What was life like for you growing up?
man. Um, Growing up for me was I'm not gonna lie, man. You know, as a kid, I like to believe that we have this ability to look at our environment and make it normal in our minds. You know what I'm saying? So as a
Right.
kid, growing up for me, I lived in the projects, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in the hood, you know. Um, Me and my mom and my brother at the time we was living there, and my sister Samaya. My mom had 8 kids. But I'm the last
Big
of 8,
family.
so uh by the time I came around, a lot of my siblings were already grown and out of the house, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So growing up for me, man, it was there was good, bad, and ugly, man. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of great times, a lot of good memories, but then there was also a lot of bad moments, you know. Um, you know, uh, but I can honestly say, I feel like at my age, which is not long, I'm not trying to sit here and make it seem like I'm an old man, I'm an old soul, but at my age, man, I grew up in like the last era of people like throwing hands for real. Like there was shootings, but like early 2000s, man, that was the last era of people actually getting to like fist fight brawls, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I witnessed that. I remember it would be like 10 to 15 man brawls from each hood, and then people would get together and just, you know what I'm saying, like no weapons, none of that. I remember that, man. um not gonna lie, man, we'll never had that again. But like I said, there was a lot of rough patches, you know what I'm saying? Like we grew up, sometimes there wasn't enough to eat in the house, or I grew up in the crib with no lights and water, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those were the times where it was rough, but I was with people that loved me, so it wasn't one of those type of situations where we were messed up on the financial side and it wasn't no love. Like I had family members around me that cared about me and my mom and all that, you know what I'm saying? We just financially wasn't always all the way together, you know?
Right. Yeah. Hard times create humble beginnings, though.
100%.
Yeah. So you started playing violin at 5, right? That was the first time
No,
you picked it up, right?
no, 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 no. I started playing in third grade. So
Okay.
I was
Okay.
around like
So
9.
so what was the family dynamic like then when you picked it up? Like, what was that like for you?
I mean, the family dynamic, man, they just looked at me and was like, "Ah, man, that's raw, you know?" It's like it was different, because everybody want to play drums, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially
that's the
like
first
my
thing
mom had us.
everybody gravitates to. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom had us in church too, so it was like, I wasn't finna pull up to the church with a violin, but I could have. Like I was actually learning the instrument properly. But it got to a point where, um, kind of piggyback off your question earlier about how my childhood was, you know, I actually ended up getting taken into foster care at 10 years old, man. So from
Mm.
there, one of the homes I was placed in ended up uh paying for private lessons for me. So that's where I started getting into like the Central and or Youth Symphony, and what I mean, actually uh started seeing real opportunities off of it. You know, it started really actually breaking down the theoretical parts of music on a real level.
So you can actually read the music.
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. I had one artist on before that could read the music. He's in Timberland's Beat Club. His name's Rashid Sanders. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can read the music too. So to meet another person that can read the music, I think that's fire.
Oh man, I appreciate
Especially
that.
at a young age, man. That's fire, man.
Yeah, and
23 years old, that's
yeah,
unheard
man.
of for
And
me, to be honest. You know?
oh man, and that's the thing, man. Like, to be honest with you, I've had to like go back and reteach myself the theory part when it comes down to guitar, because uh what I'm saying, playing violin and then going to guitar and then bass, um rare naked notation is the same. However, the instrument and the interpretation process is slightly different. And anybody that plays instruments will tell you that. Anybody that reads and plays, you know what I'm saying, they can vouch on what I'm saying. So to go from violin and to guitar, A is A, B is B, you know what I'm saying, all the way up through G, right? However,
Yeah.
the way you're taught how to identify notation and finger position on the fretted instrument or non-fretted instrument slightly varies between instruments. So I had to go back and teach myself um my chords and stuff like that as far as the guitar, because I didn't know any of my chords. I just, what I would do is I would play the radio on any station, and I would try to like match what I was hearing. You know what I'm saying? So like ear training and stuff like that, that's what I would do. And
Yeah,
that's how I end up making sense for me over time.
that's cool. So basically, from what I'm hearing is you can go off basically by sound and whatever you hear, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we call that playing by ear. A lot of people use that term in life because sometimes you don't know what's going to be thrown at you, and that's where that term comes from. It's
Right.
it's a musical term.
Yeah. So here's my next question,
Okay.
right? How did that environment shape your passion for music?
It gave me something to hold on to. It gave me a sense of hope. Like, no matter what I was going through, music always put me at ease. It soothed me. You know what I mean? everybody got vices, everybody got things that they into. Music always was my thing, man. You know, like I like music more than people, to be real with you sometimes. Like flat out, you know, but
Yeah,
that environment, it kind of made me go a little harder than usual, because I was in a situation where it wasn't really prominent. You know what I'm saying? Everybody where I come from, everybody rap, or everybody, you know, want to sell drugs or do this. So it's like me, I'm on some instrumental stuff, and it's like the only time I would get any type of like comfortability is when it came down to church. But
right.
you know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of musicians cut their teeth at, is in church, man. You know what I'm saying? Because gospel's hard to play. Like I don't care
Yeah.
what nobody tell,
So
man.
many
Tell you,
different
man.
riffs.
Yeah, man. Gospel is by far one of the most difficult genres to step into on any instrument, whether that's
Yeah,
drums, organ, bass, or guitar, man. It's heavily syncopated, and it's the groundwork for just about every other genre.
yeah, yeah, man. There's so
Straight up.
many different riffs and chords and levels, especially when when you get to those moments in church, or in, you know, when the band is playing off of whatever the lead singer or the choir is doing. Sometimes y'all have to improv,
Yeah. Yep.
you know, especially when everybody's in the spirit. You know, I've seen this a lot, you know, and I know some bass players, some drummers. You know, I've watched them. My wife's a gospel singer, so I know how this goes. You know,
Yeah.
and
So you know what's going on. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
when she take it there, they just come up with it, especially when it's filled with the spirit. They get the clapping and stomping,
Yeah.
and you leading that.
Yeah,
You
man.
know,
And you know, I never try to push my views on anybody, but what I have was given to me, man. It was a gift, man. You know,
absolutely,
there ain't no way around that, man. To be able to do what
absolutely.
I do at the rate and the ability that I'm able to do it, that ain't nothing but a gift, bro. You know.
That's right. That's a fact, bro. I feel you on that. You know, don't waste it though. He continue
Hey
to
man,
use it.
look, I'm trying
You
to
know
hey
what I
look,
mean?
I'm trying to make something happen, man. I got things to do. I got some ideas and goals that I'm trying to hit, man. And I think with this gift, I think I can execute that.
So let's talk about projects. What was your first project that you ever started on?
Man, hmm. I would say forming a band. That was my first like stop. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, what kind of band?
Forming a band.
What
So
kind of band was it? What,
so basically, man, like just getting a group of guys that want to do what I'm trying to do and come together and make something happen with that. That's what I mean. Like, really don't even matter what kind of music we doing, but it does, if that makes sense. Like, it matters, but it doesn't matter. Like, just finding like-minded individuals in anything can sometimes be tedious,
absolutely.
because a lot of people are doing different things. A lot of people got stuff going on, and some of the coldest musicians are busy and booked. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
you know, obviously I was pretty green as far as understanding that. So I just started playing with everybody. And I didn't realize that wasn't probably my best option, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it actually was detrimental in some ways, you know. But yeah, that was my first project, man. Trying to lock in a group of guys. But to be real with you,
Mhm.
um, at a certain level, it just isn't feasible. You know what I'm saying? Unless everybody is on that same page, unless everybody is dedicated to the same cause. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? That's the
Yeah,
only
I
way
do.
that's the only way that lines up. Other than that, man, what I've realized I've had to do in my situation is hire. So this is my project and this is what I need. So just like any other corporation or business, I'm gonna hire and task out for this job or for what I need. So if I got a gig, okay, I need a bass player, I need a drummer, I need a keyboard player. Instead of trying to conform people to my set core of individuals, I found it more feasible to just hire people because money talks at the end of the day. I can sit here and tell
Absolutely.
you, hey man, we're gonna be doing this, and it might not happen in 10 years, but unless you really rock with me, you feel me? You ain't gonna be around for that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So but the other side of that coin is this. All right, what's your price? How much do you need for this amount of time to play this amount of music and maybe come to a rehearsal? Well, I need this. Okay, bam. The gig is at this time. It pays this much. Be there at this time for load in. That's how them conversations go, man.
Right. You want somebody about their business and
Yeah,
someone
because
who likes to work hard.
that's what it all comes down to nowadays, man. Like I said, unless you on some Maroon 5 stuff and you got a unit locked in, like you know what I mean? Like for real, bro. Like unless everybody gonna quit their job and everybody's finna be ready to tour and all that, your best bet is just hiring people out, just like the contractors do. Like when these
Right.
people go build houses and they fix on uh the McDonald's or the Planet Fitness. I mean, yeah, they have set crews, but it's like, bro, they go to the labor's hall and they say we need plumbers, we need pipe fitters, we need
Right.
construction guys, and this is
They
their
get
rate.
what they
This is what you
need.
know what I'm saying? Like it's no different.
For sure.
But the
All
key is
right.
to hire professionals. That's what I
That's
that's
the
what I
main
didn't.
key.
That's
Yeah.
what you see what I'm saying? That's the trick of the trade, man. You gotta
Yeah.
hire animals at they craft, man.
For sure.
You know
For
what I'm saying?
sure.
That's gonna produce your best outcome.
So let me ask you, man. Let me ask you. Hold on. I want to ask you who inspired you or motivated who inspired you or motivated you as a child to stay up on your craft? Like, who was that person for you?
Man, that's an excellent question, man, because I don't often get the chance to tell this story, man. So when I was younger, like I said, we grew up in the projects, and in the middle of the projects, there was this building called the Resource Center. I grew up in the Taft Homes in Peoria, Illinois. If anybody know about that, anybody from P Town, you know what I'm saying? Shout out, they knocked them buildings down, by the way. So that, like, unless you was there and you know about the Resource Center, this is a blast of the past nowadays, man. Because, like I said, them buildings ain't even there no more. But we used to have church in the middle of the projects.
Hmm.
Um, and there was a man there named Pastor Lee. I had to be like 6, man, 6 or 7 years old. And my mom was sitting next to me, and this man had a blue guitar. And mind you, bro, this was before I even picked up the violin. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I tell my mom, I'm like, hey, I'm finna ask that man for that guitar. I want that guitar. My mom pinched me and she was like, boy, don't ask that man for that guitar. And I was hard headed and I did it anyway. After service, I walked clean up to him. I said, can I have that? And that man looked at me and he unslung his guitar and he gave it to me just like that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Now, there was a gentleman that was in a big brother program named Tim that worked with my brother because my brother was in the streets heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Big time. And because of that, he was in the big brother program, whatever. So this Caucasian brother named Tim came to the house and saw my guitar because I didn't broke all the strings on it. You know what I'm saying? Messed that guitar clean up. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like 6,
Yeah.
And he said, "Man, it looks like it needs a restring or something like that." And my mom was like, "Yeah, please fix it." Man, I ain't never seen a guitar since. I'm 23 years old, bro. That you know what I mean? Like he got me, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So years later, uh, one of the foster homes I was in, one of the families gifted me a guitar, and kind of like boomerang effect. Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna pick up where we left off. But yeah, to answer your question, man, that I think that was like the spark of my interest on being a dedicated musician. Outside of my brother being an amazing singer too, my brother was from a young age was a gospel singer.
Okay.
So, I was always trying to like figure out how to compete with that because I mean this dude can blow, man. Like cold, bro. Like he was leading the Integrity Gospel Singers at 11, bro.
Oh man, that's fire.
Yeah, man. He wicked with the voice, man. So it's like I was like, all right, you got me in that. Like I can hold a note, I can sing or whatever. He could sing. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference.
Yeah,
And
it's definitely a difference.
yeah,
It's
man.
definitely a
So
difference when a person can sing and a
yeah,
person can
yeah,
sound.
man. No, for real.
Sing
And
means
that
you're
brother.
anointed, and you
No,
got
for
the
real,
gift.
bro. For real. So I mean, there was that, and it like that kind of like made it more prominent for me to step off into the instrument side because I'm the only one in my family that really know how to play instruments for real. My brother used to tap around on the piano, play little drums here and there, but his thing was always making beats. My brother could make beats, so my brother sing. I got another brother make beats, and then me, I went complete instrumental. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to know how to play these instruments for real.
Oh man, that's awesome. Right. So you were classically trained on violin.
Yes,
How
sir.
did that discipline affect your mindset and approach to life?
Man, uh, it kind of gave me that aspect of levels, man. Like it's always levels to this. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you're doing, no matter what you got going on, it's a ladder system. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And no matter where you fall at, it's important where you at, and you got to respect where you at because the levels can change.
Yeah. Oh man, that's fire. That's fire, man. Yo, for you to be 23 years old, you would think you were older.
I get that a lot, man.
And listen, that's a great thing, because that means God put some wisdom in you at an early age, and I can tell that. So continue to be that way, man. It's going to
Yeah,
carry you a
man.
long way. I
I just
just
been
turned
humble, man.
43 yesterday, so the day before yesterday. But but listen, to hear this from a young soul is definitely dope, man.
I appreciate that, man. I just been through some things, bro. Like I don't ever profess to have all the answers because I simply don't, man. I love to learn, I love to listen, and it's always free game from people twice, three times your age, man. Anybody that got more time on the planet than you, man, I feel like it's important to listen and hear them out.
That's a
There's a
fact.
riffraff between my generation and the generation beyond and the two steps above me, man.
Yeah,
And
my generation.
yeah, bro. There's a huge riffraff, man, and it just
Yeah,
comes down to listening. I think the issue is both parties don't want to listen, and so me, like, I want to create because I'm gonna be honest, man. I've been thinking about starting a podcast of my own, man, called Perspective. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Where I sit people down of all walks of life, especially black people, black men, especially.
yeah.
Like, I don't care what you do, man. You could be a gang banger, drug dealer, a gospel. It don't matter. I want to sit all walks of life down and just talk about where you coming from, because that's the only way we're gonna get an understanding. Because
And
like
that's what this
nobody's
show is
wrong.
about.
Nobody's wrong.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Everybody wants to be right. So how about we give a people a narrative where, hey, you're not wrong, man. Both y'all right. But just listen. Just listen to the other side.
Yeah. That's what this show was created for, the older and younger generation. And I feel as though I've successfully bridged that gap because I have younger and older on this show, and we all express mental health.
Right.
It's very important. I have men and women. It's Mental Health Awareness Month for men right now, so this is great. But yeah, man, that idea is a great idea, and it's something that definitely needs to be spoke on a lot. And I say that a lot to a lot of people because the older generation needs to be giving game to the younger generation.
Yeah.
Not the way as far as making them crash out, but giving them some positive advice, you know, and that's very important, man. That's why, I have a chapter of Black Lives Matter Grassroots, because I want to be a part of the change in our community and bettering things, even though bettering's not a word, but it is today.
Nah, man, you all good, man. I feel you, bro. Like that's the
But
thing, man. I tell people all the time, man. Listen, the people that are older than me, I feel like there's a narrative that's you have to go through what I went through to get where I'm at. You have to
Right.
suffer the way I suffered to get through where I'm at.
Right.
And we live in a time where that's not the case. So I'll give you an example, right? And this is something that is relatable to people. Let's say you working at a job for like 10 years, man. And then a guy that comes in like maybe 6 years younger than you comes in and he ain't been working there a week and he your boss. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff messes with people's minds because it's like I've been here, you know what I'm saying? Or, right, I'll give you one better yet. You end up training somebody and then they get a promotion before you. Like I've seen
Yeah.
stuff like that happen. So it's
Yeah.
like when I relate that to life, I feel like that's how older cats look at younger guys. Like, you know what? I done been through this already. I done seen this already. You got to go through what I went through to get where I'm at. And it's just not set up that way no more. You know what I'm
Yeah, it
saying? You
depends
got
on what it is.
Yeah,
Depending on what it is.
you got cats that's 17, 18 and they're millionaires, bro. You know what I
That's a
mean?
fact.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you got stuff like that going on, it's hard to tell an entire generation of people, you got to go through these steps. Now, just because of the life I've lived, I respect certain steps because they are important, man. There's certain things you have to know before you know other things. Like just in music, everybody wants to solo, everybody wants to do crazy riffs and all that, but you got to know your basics. And if you don't know your basics, knowing the advanced stuff really won't do you any good. You know what I
Come on
mean?
now.
And that's probably for anything.
Come on
But
now.
but at the same time, right? At the same time, my only uh debate or like reasonable argument to the older generation is this right here. There's a lot of stuff that we're dealing with in my generation that cats older than me didn't have to worry about. You know what I mean? Uh, and I mean I can go on and on about that. You know what I'm
I
saying?
get it.
From
I
from
get it.
from from the from the
We had social media, but not like it is now.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about
You
just
know?
not even that, man. Everything, man. Even down to the dating world, down to uh the
Oh
way
yeah, that's
business is
shot for
conducted.
y'all.
You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
sorry for y'all.
Yeah, man.
To
It's
be
it's
honest,
it's it's Sodom
this
it's Sodom and Gomorrah all over again, man. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
it's
for
shot
real.
out. The
Like for real,
dating
bro.
pool is. I've been married for 20 years, but watching it
Yeah,
the
bro.
whole
And
20
see,
is
look,
shot out, bro.
I know this ain't a shot at the women because it's like, again, I'm pro equality. Like what's over there is over here. Now there's certain things that just don't add up, but I ain't gonna get into that. I'm just trying to say that, you know, it's almost like a lot of roles have reversed, man. You got guys acting like women, you got women acting like guys, man. That's the big problem right there. People don't even know what they want anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of confusion, man, a lot of distractions going on. And it's showing up directly in our everyday lives to the point where I mean, if you really break this stuff down, it ain't no secret why stuff jacked up, man.
Right.
You know? But the best hiding spot is in plain sight. And what you continue to overlook will build up one day and you ain't gonna have no choice but to face it. But by that time, it might take you out. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And that's what ends up happening. You feel me?
Yeah.
People don't address things when they're small. You know what I'm saying? They let it fester into something that's uncontrollable. That's
Yeah.
why you got
Small
what's going on today.
conversations. All it takes is small conversations, really.
For
Small
real.
conversations can solve a lot, and communication is always key with anything. So for a lot of things, it's just the fact that a lot aren't taught how to communicate.
I agree, man. And I think that's the biggest piece missing in our generational gaps. For example, right? I'm gonna give you the perspective of the young generation, and I'm gonna attempt to hit on the older generation's perspective. But as a young man living in my generation and existing right now, the biggest discrepancy is you can't do that. You don't know, you too young, or all this other stuff, right? But if me and you walk into a gas station or drive, or if me and you pull up at the same time at a gas station, the price don't change for me because I'm 10, 20 years younger than you, man. I gotta pay that 489 or 389 the same as you do, bro.
Right. The
You know
only
what I'm
thing
saying?
I'll say is this. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead. Continue.
that's where the riffraff happens, because it's like, you know, people people are being held to the same standard as if they were 40 and 50 now, without everything else involved. You feel what I'm saying?
I get it.
It's like, for example, right? I'm also in the military.
Hmm.
I can go kill people for the United States of America, but I can't have a beer. It's things like that that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're gonna hold me to a standard, hold me fully to that. Don't pick and choose when I'm old enough to do this, or nah, you too young, or you don't know no. Like it's almost like a slap in the face.
The only thing I'm gonna say about that is this. Sometimes the younger generation, because y'all everything that y'all have is right there for you, and it wasn't like that for us, right?
Right.
Because it's like that for y'all don't know what it's like in some instances to have to get to a point to get it, because it's so accessible. It wasn't accessible like it is now back then for us. So when you have the old heads at those times saying, listen, this is how it goes, this is what it takes to get there, in some instances, yes. So if it's something that's, as far as, like, let's give an example of, technology, for instance. Technology is totally different than what it used to be,
100%.
So in some instances, we might not know that as well, and y'all know how to use it, but we know the programming better, the technical aspect of it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that way, there's like, this is the bridge, and the bridge is going like this slowly,
Right.
because nobody's trying to explain anything so that there could be an understanding. And in order for that to happen, there has to be, the youngins have to listen, and the old heads got to listen. And that's
Yep.
the way the bridge can
That's
come
what I was
together,
saying.
and everybody can walk on that, Joe.
And that's what
You know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
saying, man.
So I agree with you there 1000%. So here's my next question to you. All right. In 2016, you found a new love in guitar. Was there something happening in your life at the time that made you gravitate towards a new instrument?
I mean, man, uh yeah, absolutely, man. I was being bounced around home to home. I was in a total of 25 foster homes. So like at
Mm,
the time, man, the only thing consistent in my life was inconsistency.
yeah, that's real. That's real. Excuse me. I was in a juvenile facility for 8 years of my life, so I can relate in a way,
I was
right?
in
Now,
facilities too, man.
I was in
That's
I was
crazy.
in different homes. I was in different homes though, and it was because I was a troubled teen. I would get in fights a lot, so I was bouncing from house to house to house to house. So I
So you
knew
was
what
in
that's
foster
like.
care too?
No, not in foster care, but I was in a boys' home.
Yeah,
I got sentenced to the juvenile facility because I was a truant kid. I had 102 suspensions in 1 year.
yeah,
Everybody go damn when they hear
yeah, man.
that.
They had stuck me in a shelter when I was younger too. Um for foster youth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had nowhere else to go
Yeah,
at
so
the
I can
time.
understand that. I can understand that. So when you changed to that, when you got to that guitar though, you know, what was that like for you? You said the only thing that was going on in your life at the time was inconsistencies, right? What was it about the guitar that made you want to be consistent with it? Break that down a bit.
It was the way it made me feel, man, you know? Like there was times I wanted to end my life, man, but playing that guitar made me wanted to stick around. You know? So I would have to really say the feeling of it all. Like I was infatuated. You know what I'm saying? I was invested. I was mesmerized in every aspect of playing that guitar, man.
Right.
And it was like a paradigm shift, man. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, music saved me, man, in a lot of ways. And I know that sounds cliche because a lot of people try to say that. Like, oh man,
Not
music
here.
saved me. Music saved me. Music saved me. But it's like, man, how? You know what I mean? Like I could tell you how it saved me, man. Like I was in a situation where I did
Break
not
it
want to
down.
be here anymore. I didn't want to be here anymore. You know what I mean? That's how it saved me. You know what I mean? Life was so difficult in my mind that it wasn't worth it. And as a kid, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? To even be going through something where you thinking like that, it's nuts, man. Looking back on that, man, I'm not ashamed, but I just wish I knew a little bit more as far as like self-preservation and worth. Cause as
Yeah.
a 15-year-old kid, man, going through that kind of stuff, it's a blessing I'm even still here, bro, mentally.
Mm. I can understand that, bro. I definitely can understand that. Um,
For real.
in a way, music saved me. I'm not going to say in a way, music did save me because the moment that I found out I had a lyrical ability was the moment that everything that I was going through didn't matter anymore. You know, I was one of them young boys that was going through a lot of issues. My mom and dad wasn't together. I wanted them to be together and all that. And I was acting out because of it. So, you know, that's the story of a lot of us old heads back in the day. You know what I'm saying? We was having daddy issues. We was having mommy issues, but we just didn't know how to deal with it. But when I got in the boys' home and I was in the system, finding out that I had a lyrical ability, I'm like, damn, this radio right here is what really changed it for me. Because now I'm listening to this radio and I'm putting stuff together. But even though I didn't stop getting into trouble, I found a talent that I didn't even know existed in me. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand what you're saying, and I can relate to it. Um, my next question I want to ask you. All right. How does playing different instruments help you cope with stress or life's challenges?
Great question, man. Honestly, I think it's clinically proven that music and playing instruments sharpens the mind and like literally makes you more intelligent. So it just gives me more avenues to exercise uh different reasoning, different uh different avenues to approach a situation that may seem difficult. For example, if I'm playing a song, I'm not going, the goal is to not keep playing the same stuff over and over. You want to explore the instrument, you know what I mean? And explore
Absolutely.
different avenues to get to the same goal, you know? And I relate that to life because, you know what I mean? Like everybody, everybody's like so consumed with what it means to be a man, right? And they love to pitch their narrative on what that is. But I feel like, in my own personal opinion, you know, me personally, I feel like being a man is being able to go through anything and, and completely be in control of yourself and your emotions and be centered. I feel like that's the true essence of being a man. Supreme
Right.
self-control. And so music gives me that different take, especially playing different instruments. Like it's letting me explore different alternatives to the same destination. You know, it's like when your GPS give you alternate routes.
Absolutely.
You know, that's how I look at that, man.
Hey man, I like your spirit, man. You definitely well rounded.
I appreciate it, man.
Pretty
I
dope.
just been through a lot, man. That's all. I had about this much
Definitely do.
time to learn this much. And to be honest with you, there's a lot that I've missed because I only had this much time. And it never ends, man. That's the other beauty in music. You'll never be able to say, "Oh, I got it." That's the beauty in it. That's why I'm so into it, man.
Yeah,
Nobody ever be able to say I got it. Nobody.
yeah. All right. So you mentioned that you're in the military. How long you been in the military?
Been here for 5.5 years.
Okay, thank you for your service. I know
Appreciate
that's
that.
cliche, and I know how y'all feel about that. You know what I'm saying? And I have family members that served 20 years and everything, and they tell me about how that they really feel about that. But um, I don't want to make it cliche, but thank you for fighting for our freedoms abroad
Oh man, I ain't
without
did nothing,
you know
bro. I
things that we
appreciate that.
don't know.
I appreciate that, man. You know, if anything, man, I appreciate y'all. So, can't say nothing but thank you, man.
All right, all right. So, what was that experience? What is the experience for you like? You know, being in the military. I know you can't tell us too much about what goes on, but I know you
Yeah,
can.
I mean, it's a brotherhood. I'm in the army, man. Uh, definitely get a sense of brotherhood amongst my fellow, battle buddies is what we call each other. But I mean, the feeling is like you're a part of something bigger. You know, everybody joins for different reasons, man. But I remember my first day in basic training, man. The drill sergeant was talking to us. Now, people say things, and it's like whether you meant it or not is a different story. So he said something that stood out to me, and that made me feel even more comfortable with my decision of joining the army. He said, "I don't care if you're gay, black, white, polka dotted, you're all green now." And that stuck with me, man, because there's so many people that join the military from all types of walks of life, all different backgrounds, man. And so, that was I appreciated I appreciated him saying that, because if you have those type of differences in the heat of battle, that can get you killed, or that can convolute the mission, or whatever you gotta, gotta do. So the fact that, at least in the military, everybody on the same page, that was smooth. Now, keep in mind the military has changed, man. It's not the same as how it used to be even before I joined in. So I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like everything's been peachy and keen uh, all the time, because it hasn't, man. There's been a lot of stuff that has happened over the course of history, man, and that's just a given. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to take away from the negative connotations of things, because there has been a lot of horrible stuff that has happened. But I can honestly say, um, you know, the army does its job of weeding that stuff out, and they do things in their power to work towards and making things better. Keeping it in house. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's important. But like I said, when I went, that always stuck with me when he said that. He said y'all all green now. So don't look at him crazy for what he got going on. Don't look at him crazy for what he got going on. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like black people, if you don't like white people, get over it, because you're all green now. That that was the coldest. That was the coldest phrase I heard since I've even been in. I've been in 5.5 years, man. And you hear a lot of doozies, man. You hear a lot of little slang, little sayings and slogans, but hearing that, man, that kind of set the tone for me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like I
That's
respected. I
definitely
respected
dope.
that.
That's dope. Well, it's a good thing because it seems like, serving in the military has built a certain discipline in you.
Yeah, man.
Are you a
I mean, it's
father?
definitely
Do you
sharpened.
have any children?
No, sir. No, no, no.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely got that discipline in you, though.
Yeah, man. I mean, the way I look at it, man, is like I feel like my life prepared me for what anything the army could have thrown at me. And I was right, man. Like, to be honest with you, there's more in my career that I could even do. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
real.
Oh, that's dope. So do you feel like music has been more of an escape, a healer, or both for your mental health?
Oh man, all the above, both.
Okay. Care to elaborate?
I mean, it's healing because when I'm going through what I'm going through, you know, believe it or not, man, I've learned that with certain issues in my own life, our initial response is to tell somebody about it, and talk and express ourselves,
Right.
and vent, you know what I'm saying? When I play my music, I don't got to do that anymore. I don't have to talk. I don't have to vent. That is my venting. That is my talking. So, you know what I'm saying? That for the people who don't have that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be real. Like, I feel like everybody's going through something, whether it's known or not known, or whether it's behind the scenes or on the forefront. So for me to just dump what I got going on onto you on top of what you may possibly already be going through is borderline unfair to me. And it's just like, ain't nobody asked for all that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that there aren't people that will hear me out and listen to me. But again, I got to cut my grass and yours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I look at that, man. I'd rather just go play my guitar. You know
Oh,
what I'm
man, that's
saying?
dope. That's definitely dope. Oh, man. Being a multi-instrumentalist and an artist can be demanding.
That's facts.
How do you manage your mental health through it all?
I am blessed by the Most High to have a mother that prays for me daily. Without that, I couldn't imagine the shambles my life would be in. So I'm gonna give the proper credit due on that. Now, like I said, man, it's a supernatural hand on my life from the Lord, bro. Like I mean, my mom is a prayer warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Salute.
you know, and in a lot of ways, I think that's what's kept me out of harm's way and mental attacks. You know what I'm saying? But I live by a motto that we also got in the army too, and it's kind of probably unhealthy, but like, bro, we say all the time, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I live by that, and I live by serenity. I don't stress myself over stuff that is outside of my hands. And the moment I find myself doing that, I stronghold it out of my mind because it's like I can't do nothing about it. I can't do nothing about this. So stressing over it ain't even gonna help me. If anything, that's gonna make the situation seem worse. So I gotta leave this alone right now. I have the
That's a
ability to
fact.
thought switch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
man.
what's up, man. That's definitely what's up. All right. Here's the next one. Have you ever struggled with self-doubt or burnout as a young artist? And if so, how do you get through it?
100%. 100%. You know, people have everybody has insecurities, man. Okay. Some people's insecurities are at different levels. Some people have severe insecurities. Some people have minute insecurities, but we all have them. It's nothing. It's something you can't walk away from. You have to deal with it. So I always didn't think I was worthy of having a good life or nice things in life or experiencing a nicer life, because my entire life I've experienced less than. I've experienced beneath the barrel. So like living through that, I never even imagined myself having more than that. And to be honest with you, sometimes I still struggle with that, because for years of my life I was in a situation where, like I said, man, it was always less than, man. So when it comes down to my music, I just noticed that people don't take you serious at this age. At 23, shoot, from 18 to like 26, right? You're not getting taken serious, man. You
Yeah.
know, um, I hate to say it, but it's like I've had to look past that. You know what I mean? Like that was the big that I had to get over in my life too, man. Because it's like it would make me so mad, because it's like, man, I'm as serious as a heart attack. I'm respectful. I'm mature. Yada yada, man. I'm ready for this. But it's like, man, it was one of those things where I had to give it up, bro. I can't control how people view me. I can't. This is what I look like. This is what I have. This is what I do. This is what I got going on. I can't control them narratives. All I can control is what I do
That's right.
and what I do with that. So the
That's
same
right.
people that count me out and may not take me serious, they will eventually, and they'll regret not ever taking me seriously. No matter if
That's
I
right.
was 20 or 40. You know what I'm saying? Because I am serious. I understand that I exist in a generation where a lot of people play around and fumble the bag and do all this other stuff and get tricked out their spot. I'm not on that, man. You know what I'm saying? I've went through too much in my life early on to ruin any magnificent opportunity that comes my way. Have I done it? Flat out, yes. Did I know better? No. Do I know better now? Yes. And when you
And
know
that's
better,
what matters most.
yeah,
That's what matters
yeah,
most. Knowing what you know, when you make mistakes, learning from them is what matters most. So, I agree with you there. When you're young, you do make mistakes and you're entitled to, because you're young. Now, once you get up in my age and you repeating the same mistakes, that means you haven't learned from your mistakes. So the best thing about it is learning from them, growing from them, and continuing to flourish as you go along. I like the fact that you don't have your head in on the swivel. A lot of young men your age, they do, because they're focused on all of the materialism and things that don't really matter. So to hear that in a young man that's focused, has drive, and know where he wants to go, that's awesome, man. So I commend you for that.
I appreciate that, man. I just
For
want to take
sure.
care of my mom, man. That's really what this all comes down to. Everybody got their reason. Some people want it all for themselves, but I just want to help my family and liberate us, bro.
For sure. You said you come from a family of 8.
Technically 15. My mom had 7 kids. My dad had 7 kids. And then when they had me, I made 8 for both sides.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's dope. That's a big
Yeah.
family, bro.
Man, big. And then me and my mom, we was born on the same day.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom and I share our birthdays a week apart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's dope. That's dope, bro. All right. Here's the next question. Do you have any daily practices or routines that help you protect your peace of mind?
Man, keeping busy. Just staying busy, man. Idle minds, devil's playground, man.
That's a
I,
fact.
I I have to keep busy so I don't go crazy, man. For real. I got too much stuff swimming around to sit still. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I literally go home, shower, sleep, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like it's I'm not even proud of it, man. It's just I know that's my routine. I know that's what I do. I occupy myself with a bunch of stuff to take my mind off of.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
it actually brings me peace because I play basketball, I go do music. You know what I'm saying? I do a bunch of music. I go out a lot, you know what I mean? Um, I'm talking about pretty much almost every day, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I go out. And what I've realized is that because one of my ex-girlfriends, man, she's like, you always outside. And I said, yeah, I am, but not for the reasons you think though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't outside because I'm, messing around and out here being an idiot. I'm outside because it brings me peace to just be outside.
Right.
You know, don't nobody say nothing when people be like, "Oh, I'm a homebody." So why am I wrong because I want to be out?
I
You know
mean, you're
you know what I mean?
23
Like,
years old though. You should
uh,
be outside.
but the thing is though, like, I mean, I don't think nobody's wrong for what they got going on. What you doing with that is where you can, get into them different graphics. I'm not outside acting a fool and causing trouble, or I'm not outside chasing tail. I'm not. I'm simply out there because I have traumatic things of my past that I don't like being indoors. I don't like being in a. I can't. So when I explain that, now it's like, oh, but it's like you should have gave me that grace from the get-go instead of judging me and making it seem like it's this and that. But you know, if I have to go in depth and say that, that usually means people aren't considerate, you know. But again, everybody's wrapped up in what the next man doing, man, or what somebody else got going on. You don't know why people do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't outside for the reason everybody else outside. And maybe there are people out there doing what I'm doing too, but like I know why I'm out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
you know,
Hey man,
like for real.
I came across something of yours and I feel like the people should see it.
Uh-oh. What you come
I
across?
came across your Tiny Desk submission.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah,
And
man.
I feel like the people should see this. So I'm going to play it.
Okay. I really appreciate that, man. I actually thought because there was like this was the record. This year was the most submissions they've had. And so I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like going in, I didn't really know what to expect. I mean, we did our thing. We, what I'm saying, we went in, we handled our business, we did what we were supposed to do or whatever. But like I wasn't even expecting them to look at it, bro.
We're going to get into it right now. And then we're going to get back into this interview.
Okay.
So we
Gotcha.
about to do that right now. Right.
All right, class is in session. Today we're gonna discuss soul. Hey Jay, mind if I show you this real quick, man? Do something like that. I got you. Show you how to get this real quick. All right, you got that. Nah, matter of fact, you graduated. You good. You graduated. My name is Erech Bruce, and this is my tiny desk submission. Girl, baby, you've been on my mind, my mind, my mind. Hey, girl, darling, please don't waste my time, my time, my time, my time. I see you looking at me, yeah. I know what you need can set you free. I know what you want now, baby. It can be just you and me. Oh no, let me be a hero. Thought that you should have done my heart was follow. You wherever you go, never ever long. Why I wrote to the song, see you when you get home. I don't know what they know about you. Let me let you know it's false or true. If you roll with me, you'll never be hungry or thirsty. I can make you fat like that and make you say Hercules. We don't need nobody else. Get it jumping just like Bourbon Street. Cause when I'm with you, baby, ain't no place that I'd rather be. Got my heart on lock, and she the only one that holds the key. Got me on my knees, cause you know I treat you like a queen. The queen that you are, my love for you goes far and far. Father in love, off in the sunset like two little doves. Joking, laughing, having some fun. One look at you, take the air out my lungs. She the only one that can get me stung. I be on the beach, but I ain't no bum. Have to push ass on you hotter than the sun. Goddamn, baby girl, all the junk in the trunk. I the only business trying to get some. I ain't trying to get some, I'm trying to get your love. Then I worry about getting me some. Cause getting somebody's brothers wrong. Cause girl, they. You've been on my mind, my mind. Girl, baby, you've been on my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, girl, darling, babe. Don't waste my time, my time, my time. Thank you so much, NPR Tiny Desk.
Oh man, that was fire, bro.
Oh man, I appreciate that, bro.
That was fire.
Man, it means a lot, bro. I
Definitely fire.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, you nice with it.
Oh man, I appreciate that, bro. For real. Much love, man.
All right, man. So I want to say this. You can play the hell out of that guitar, boy.
Hey man, hey, I appreciate that, bro. For real.
Like, seriously, man. You was definitely going in. You did your thing, man. That was
Man,
fire.
I was so hey, look, I just left it all on the floor, bro. I was like, look, this a tiny decimation. I don't know if we gonna win this mug, but here we go.
Hey, man. All right. So if there was a comment, and it was Sandy's pack. He said, nice.
Okay. Appreciate you, Miss Sandy.
While we was playing, he liked it. Yeah, man. He was definitely doing your thing, man. You got the rat and the strings booming. Okay.
Yeah, man.
So here's my next question for you. How does your ambition take care of your family to take care of your family motivate you? And does it ever add extra pressure?
1000%, man. It increases the motivation because it's bigger than me. You know, I ain't just trying to do this to take care of me and myself or whatever. However, man, in the same breath, you have to take care of you before you can take care of anybody else. And I
But
understand that. So it's like, in the same token, I'm going to take care of my family, but I got to get there first. You know what I mean? You know, uh, you talking to a guy that is giving when I had nothing really to give. You know what I mean? And you know, I ain't even got no big money coming in yet or none of that. You know, ain't nothing really rolling in yet as far as like, you know, the real money yet. When
right.
all that stuff happens, man, you know, my family's gonna be the first to be taken care of, man. Outside of myself, of course, but it's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely bigger than you. So I understand. And others that support you, I'm pretty sure they understand that too.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing, bro. It's a lot of people that act like they support when they start seeing certain things happening. You know, so I've kept mental notes of people and certain behavior patterns because it's like, you know,
Yeah.
now it's, hey bro, how you been when you see me on a billboard? But you know what I'm saying? When Muggs was homeless, nobody hear nothing from nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Hey,
hit different,
listen, I
bro.
can
So it's
relate
like
to that.
I'm not trying to make it seem like, you know, oh, I'm gonna be calling the shots and I'm gonna be the man and all this. I just know when my turn comes, everybody has to understand I waited for that. And I was patient. I didn't hate on nobody. I never bad talked nobody, bro. I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? None of that. I waited, bro. I waited.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope. You know, one thing I will say is this: even in those situations, man, when people don't support, because I've been homeless as well. I've been through some things too. You know, I can go on and
Nah, for
on that.
real.
But even when your time comes, one thing that I've learned, and I'll just throw this out there, is through it all, still be humble. You
Yeah.
know why? Because the Lord is still watching you. You know, the Lord is still watching you, even when those moments occur. And you might feel a way about this person that didn't help when when you needed it, and they didn't, and they was just living life. And then you get up, and then they want to be, oh, bro, what's up, bro?
Yeah. What's up, cuz? Yeah.
Still be humble, you
Hey,
know,
what's up? Hey,
still
what's
have
up,
to do
cuz?
that. Yeah, listen, it's happening to me now. So
Man.
I'm telling you, this is why I'm telling you. Do it
Like,
all.
man, I ain't seen you in years, bro. Now it's what's up, cuz? Hey.
What's up, cuz? Couldn't get a
Yeah.
person on the phone for years, and then they see I'm booming, and now Oh,
Yeah,
yo, what's
bro.
up? What's up? Yeah,
That's tragic, man.
it happens though, you know. So
Yeah.
through that all, remain humble. Remain humble, stay solid, you know, and don't even give them that energy. Like, oh, where was you when I needed help? This and that. Da-da-da. Listen, they knew what was going on, bro.
They knew what time it was. Yeah.
They knew what was going on in that moment. They needed you.
Facts.
You needed them.
That's facts, bro.
You don't even need to have that conversation. Just still be the same person and remain solid, because that'll go a long way for you than having that conversation would, or even getting the get back on. You know, it's not necessary. You know, I had to learn that. Um, so here's my next question, man. What's the one thing you wish more people understood about the mental health challenges musicians face behind the scenes?
And not everybody is trying to help us. Not everybody is for us. You know, there's a lot of people that claim they love the art, but you got a lot of sheep, a lot of wolf in sheep clothing, man. A lot of people,
Mhm.
you know, got olive branches in one hand, but bullets in the next hand. You know, so it's a lot of confusion. It's a lot of things that we experience as musicians that people don't know about. Because there's more, at least for me specifically, I've had to be so much more than just a good musician. I've had to be a good businessman. I have to be a good, uh, steward of certain financial agreements. I had to honor my word. You know what I mean? Like,
That's right.
there's so many things you got to be good at just to even be considered, man. So I just wish people that understood that it's a real job too.
Yeah, I feel you on that, man. You know, that part of it right there is a big one, though. The financial responsibility to keep a business afloat is everything. And people
Yo, you,
see
yeah.
you spending money, they think you got money to get.
I had people tell me, man, you should get a job, all this other stuff. Man, you need to go do this. You need to go do this. What are you going to tell me when I got millions of dollars and I'm on your TV? Do I still need a job then, or is this my job? Like, people don't know what goes on behind the scenes of booking your own shows, paying out musicians, having to make sure people are even available, equipment. Like, it's so much stuff that goes into that, man. And it's
Money
like
and
I could
time.
go on and on about that, but it's like for you to sit here and chastise me on my job selection as if this isn't a job, it's crazy to me. But
Well,
again, you're requiring people, you're requiring understanding from people that don't do what you do. So that's always gonna be a riffraff. So honestly, bro, I don't even pay it no mind anymore. I used to. I'm one of the few that actually means this right here. I don't care what people think about me, bro.
you know what, though? That's always going to happen because people don't see your vision. Nobody knows the
Right.
vision but you. So when it
Yeah.
comes to that sentiment that you just expressed, keep it. No,
Yeah,
because
bro.
nobody can see that
No,
but
man,
you.
like,
You know,
no
and a lot of
people.
people, a lot of the time, they think they understand what your vision is, but it's
Well,
your vision. How
here's
could
my
they?
discrepancy. Here's my beef with all that, man. People only care to offer their opinion on your life, but they ain't offering no services. They ain't offering no help. They ain't offering no assistance. So you could keep your 2 cents, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I
This
come
is
to
it.
you and tell you I'm homeless, oh, go fill out a job application. Even if I go do that, bro, I'm not gonna see a check to 2 weeks.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You get what I'm going. I'm not excusing the fact that I'm out here homeless. I'm not saying that I don't want to work. What I'm saying is you're trying to give me something versus the bigger picture of it. If I go fill out the application, bro, it's gonna take them. No, actually, I have to even get hired. I have to fill out the application, and I gotta even, you know what I'm saying, do process. And it might be a month before I see my first check. You talking about some go fill it? That's why I don't. People love to offer their opinion, bro. But like, I don't care about what people think because people's opinions of me didn't help me when I was homeless. People's opinions of me didn't help me when I was in foster homes. People's opinions of me didn't save me from never meeting my father, bro. Like, it's so much stuff that people's opinions didn't do for me. The only time I consider people's opinions is when I want to. Other than that, man, I'm good.
Yeah, I feel
Especially
you.
if it's on a especially if it's a negative connotation. Now, if you're trying to drop gems of knowledge, I'm all for that because I love to learn. But chastisement and basically trying to tell me what I got going on in my life, nah, man, that's gun smoke. I ain't doing that. And that's why a lot of people lose sight and track of what they got going on in the first place because they get so caught up in what people are telling them, bro. You
Right.
know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like telling somebody a secret they can't hold water, bro. And yeah, the whole town know because you look who you told.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
people do it
true.
to themselves, man.
That's true,
People be
man.
doing stuff to themselves, man. And then looking crazy after it happens. You already knew what was going on, man. You knew good and
Yeah,
well you weren't supposed, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might as well just take your you might as well take your licks, man, like my uncle used to say.
yeah.
People don't want to take them
I
licks though,
agree.
man. People want to do stuff, but then when certain things happen after that, now it's oh my God. Nah, bro. You should have known that's what comes with that.
Hey, hold on one second. Hold on one second, bro. Stay right there. Stay right there. Give me 1 second.
All right.
All right, we back. We back. Quick intermission. All right. For those just tuning in, I'm sitting here with EB Cuzzo, aka Erech Bruce. And listen, his name is even spelled different. So that tell you he's special. I've never seen Eric spelled that way.
Yeah, me either, man. Outside of my own.
So that's fire, man.
Yeah, my mom
All
was
right.
on one.
Yeah. Who named you?
My mama.
Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your vision for mental well-being as you grow in the music industry?
Man, just staying adequately in good shape in my headspace, man. Not letting I know a lot of people get money, man, like real money, and it changes them, man. So that's my aim, man. I want to be the same man I am now, with or without money, because money shouldn't define you. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, man. I done seen guys that live in conditions like I have, and they own, bro, and they not the same person. So it can happen, man. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, "Oh man, I never." And you don't know what you're gonna do in those situations, man. So I ain't gonna never be the one to sit up here and cap like that. All I know is I'm gonna stay true to me, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure that money don't change me.
Listen, if you stay rooted in God, it won't change you.
All right, that's
That's the
my
only
goal, man.
thing I can say about that.
Yeah,
You
that's my
stay
goal.
rooted in God, read the word, continue to do that, stay disciplined, stay focused. and hang around the same people that's around for the ride, you should be fine. You know,
Yeah, man.
when we add people that don't belong on our journey, it's when a lot of things go left. You know,
That's facts.
and I can truthfully say that because I wanted to add so many people on my journey along the way. And there was times where I got this close and then it didn't happen because I was letting other people get in the way of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So,
Don't get tricked out your spot, man.
right. Don't let nothing trick you out of your position. You know, that's key. You know, uh, so that's what I was saying, you know. Are there any resources like therapy, community, or mentors that have been especially helpful for you?
Oh man, absolutely, man. I seek the counsel of wise men that are older than me. So, man, if it came down to it, bro, I'd get game from a crackhead at 5 o'clock in the morning because he's older than me. And you know what? Some of the best advice I've ever gotten was from a crackhead, bro. You know what I'm saying? People get picky on where the information comes from, but as long as the information good, bro, I don't see the problem.
Right. Oh
For
man.
real.
All right. So, what advice would you give the young musicians who feel overwhelmed mentally while pushing for their dreams?
Man, just respect the game, man. You know what I mean? Understand it's a process and your process may look a little different, and that's okay. You don't have to do things the way everybody tells you you have to do them, but respect the narrative of people that's been doing what you want to. You know, respect the narrative of people that are doing what you're trying to do.
Right. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. You know, I think sometimes we go astray by going against the grain a lot, but sometimes when you go against the grain of the narrative, you can't fulfill your dream.
Right.
So I would agree with that. All right. What do you do when you feel creatively blocked or emotionally drained? I do want to know this because I want to know, what does E.B. Cuzzo do to de-stress when he's going through something or when he feels drained? Like, what do you do? I mean, I know you mentioned basketball earlier, and I know you said picking up the guitar, but are there any other things that you like to do other than that?
Man, I just probably go see some live music, man. You know,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So you like being in the atmosphere of the performers.
yeah, 100%, man.
Okay. What do you like more? Performing on stage or recording the music? And why?
I would say performing because um, I would say performing it because now I'm seeing in real time the reaction of real people to what I'm doing,
Okay.
and that's dope,
So you like the energy. You're an energy guy.
big time. I could tell what type of time you on just from being around you.
Yeah. Oh, that's
It's the
dope,
vibe.
man.
The vibe. I got a saying: the vibe don't lie.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a
That's
fact.
that don't matter. That's what new people. That's what friends. That's what homies. That's what females. The vibe don't lie, bro.
Yeah. Listen, we done created a vibe here tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Like, for
Because you out
real.
here dropping some gems at 23.
Hey man, I'm an old soul. I'm an old Y. I'm not a YN. You know.
Yeah. You're a young boy, old head. They call me the
Nah.
old head young boy because
So
I'm an
so
old head, but I spit. And when I rap, I got the new swag and I
yeah
got bars for days, bro.
yeah. So
So they call
I
me old
say
head young boy. But you're a
so
young boy, old head.
you know what YN stands for, right?
Oh, of course.
Right. So I'm an old Y. I'm an old youngin. I'm not a YN. I'm an old Y.
I like that. I like that. All right. All right. How do you celebrate your wins, both big and small, to keep yourself mentally grounded?
Man, I give thanks, brother. This can all be taken from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just appreciative. I'm thankful. I get excited at running water, bro, because we didn't have that coming up. You know what I'm saying? Little things always are huge to me.
Oh man, that's fire. That's fire. You know, it's something about giving thanks back to the King that reminds us of where we come from a lot of the time anyway. And you know, for obstacles in life, when we incur obstacles or go through things, some of us at times forget that it all came from him to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So to not
100%.
forget that and to thank him for that is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Continue to do that, you know? And it's
Yeah,
a good
man.
thing at your age that you know to do that. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing it. Don't never let that leave your mind. Don't never let that leave your heart. No matter how much money or success you accumulate, always give thanks because just as quick as you get it, it's the same quickness as it could be
Facts.
gone. So
Facts.
always remember that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
facts.
All right. All right. So when you think about your future, what does true success look like for you, both as an artist and as a human being?
Music on the radio and financial stability and freedom. That's it.
Okay.
If I can chart, Billboard, and feed my family at the same time, bro, I'm smooth.
Okay. All right. That's something that you want to feed. You want to hit that billboard.
Yeah, that's a goal, man. You know, I want to share my craft with the world on them type of levels. So it's like, yeah, man, shooting for the stars.
So are you currently working on a project right now?
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff right now for sure.
Uh, you care to tell us anything, a title or
Can't really talk about it right now, but just know, stay tuned.
he said he got something booming and it's coming,
Yeah,
but just keep
yeah,
watching.
yeah. It's like
That's what's
it's
up.
like when you go in your pockets and you find money. Like, man, I didn't even know this was here.
Okay. So when you feel overwhelmed, do you have a safe space, either physical or creative, where you go rest your mind
My safe space
or
is
you just
inside,
crash out?
man. My safe space is in my mind.
Okay.
So, man, I just thought switch, man. I'm an excellent thought switcher.
Okay. How do you handle criticism or rejection
I go off
while
the intent.
protecting your self-esteem?
I go off the intent. If it's constructive, I'm all for it. If you just talking smack, one ear out the other. But yeah, bro, because criticism is important. Can't grow if you don't consider the outside looking in.
Right.
So it's a necessary evil. I you know what I'm saying, I look at it for what it is, man. Chew the meat, spit out the bones.
Yeah. I would agree with that. You know, a lot of time as artists, we have a hard time taking criticism. And
That's
and I'll
people.
say this.
That's people. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say this, I see this in a lot of youngins, but to hear this from you is different, right? I'll be honest. Because when I talk to a lot of younger people and I give them some criticism, it's, oh man, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, yo, I'm telling you something that could actually help you, but you just sitting here just flagging the advice. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about. So
Right.
you don't want to listen to it? Listen. You're going to run into someone eventually. Maybe you'll listen because this person has a higher status or whatever.
Right.
Because sometimes that's what it takes for people, right? They want to hear it from their heroes or people
Yeah. I know
who's way
exactly what
up.
you're talking about.
Yeah, and
I
then
had a
they'll listen,
yeah.
but it was coming from the same type of space beforehand, and now you want to listen because you hearing it
that's
from
that's what I
so
was talking about
such
with
and such.
that's what I was talking about with the crackhead, man. A lot of people will walk past a crackhead and like, oh my God, leave me alone or whatever. But honestly, bro, you sit and listen, man. Gems, bro. Gems.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You don't need no plaque on the wall to keep it real.
yeah. What happened to you don't mean you don't have no
Right.
experience. So that's how it is looked at a lot of the time. You know, a lot of people do look at it that way. Like, oh, you ain't selling million records. Where your plaque at? Where you built? Look, I engineer and I rap myself and I've recorded people for 20 years. So when I'm telling these young bulls, they
Right.
look like, all right, go ahead, young bull. You don't want to listen? Somebody gonna tell you
And
eventually.
you know,
And when they can't retort, you leave them alone.
I pride myself in not fitting in them categories and demographics within my generation.
Yeah,
But because of how old I am, you'd have to talk to me to know that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
You would have to understand that. You'd have to you know, yeah, because it's like at a glance, I get it, man. I'm a young guy. It is what it is, but it's like I said, I pride myself on not being what what the majority of my peers represent,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that's dope. All right. Next question. We got a few more questions before we get out of here. All right. Has there ever been a piece of you from a song that you created or anything that helped you process something heavy emotionally?
Man, I don't even know which one to pull. There's so many of those. Absolutely.
Okay. Give
Absolutely.
us one. Give us one. And what was the story behind it?
You ain't never had a friend like me, Tupac. When I first heard that song, I felt like he was describing me, bro. Straight up. And I mean, that's how I feel, bro. There's literally a song for everything, man. Literally. Like, it don't matter what it is, it's a song for everything. But that particular song, man, that hit home because the type of guy I am, the type of friend I am,
Mhm.
yeah, man, I shoot. Yeah, bro, it's rare.
So, what about a song of your own, though?
A song
Is
about
there any in the catalog of your own songs that hit you that way?
yeah, there's a song I have that it's actually unreleased, so I can't really speak too much on it. But there's a lyric in there, um, where I said I had to switch up the plan and reanalyze my mission. I lost some people along the way. Nobody believed in my vision. I used to have so much to say, but now I'm choosing to listen. I had to liberate my brain and get my mind out of prison. I've been
Mm,
seeking higher knowledge, and I'll be free in a minute.
okay, okay. He just dropped some bars on the show, y'all. Y'all heard it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? So basically, what that meant for me is, you know, I've had to rearrange my entire thought process on all this stuff in order to, you know what I'm saying, take this to the next level, man, because sometimes you gotta just check yourself, man. For real. You gotta check yourself out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's definitely dope. All right. So here's the next one. What role does community, friends, fellow musicians, or family play in supporting your mental health?
I'd say it's an important piece, but situational. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their thing going on, so it's like it's just it's a form of camaraderie, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of guys out here doing what you're doing, so it's like that's good for your mental.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what has been the reception for you music wise? Like when people listen to your music, like how do they feel? What's the reaction people give you? And how do
Man,
you receive it and feel about that?
man, I typically get good responses. Uh I typically get good responses uh about my music, man. And it makes me feel like I need to keep doing this, you know.
Okay. Okay. All right. If you could talk to your 5-year-old self who just picked up their violin, what advice would you give him about life and staying mentally strong?
My 5-year-old self.
Mhm.
Uh my 5-year-old self. Uh Man, I would basically say don't when I would say when this guy come takes that guitar, make your mom get you a new one.
Okay. He was feeling some type of way about that.
Man, that was low down, bro. That was foul play, bro. I,
Yeah,
I can only imagine where
shit.
I'd be had I started way back then, you know.
Yeah. But listen, you've honed your skills and you're nice with it. So,
I
you know what I'm
appreciate it, man.
saying? To see that is amazing. And at such a young age, listen, man, keep moving and booming, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Two more questions. If you had one dream collaboration, who would that be?
That's tough. Tupac for sure. Or do they have to be alive?
No, they could be dead or alive.
Yeah, Tupac
Listen,
all day,
Tupac
bro.
got so many verses out here that we probably still ain't heard, and you can get a
Yeah,
new verse.
Tupac definitely. And then on the instrumental side, Snarky Puppy,
Okay.
John Mayer, like on some guitar stuff.
All right.
Or
Last and
honestly,
final.
low key, Maroon 5 too.
Maroon 5.
That'll be
Yo,
hard.
I got to watch them and the Dave Matthews Band perform with Snoop Dogg at the Tweeter Center back in the
Man,
day. And I was a young boy working in the Tweeter Center. And I was on the side road just watching them do their thing like while I'm cleaning up. But it was a thing to see, man. It was that they definitely did their thing. Their
man, they
fans, they
did.
was going crazy.
Yeah,
It
they.
was
I
kind
like
of
they old
it was
stuff,
kind of
man.
lit.
I like they old work.
Yeah, and it was what is considered old work now. Those songs that was out then, that's what it was.
That's
So
the
that's
good
cool,
stuff.
man. Yeah. All right, last and final question, man. If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that and why?
A lot of situations you gonna find yourself in are temporary. So enjoy it while you got it. And the why, um, you don't know the time clocks on none of this stuff. You don't know how long you're gonna be with your girl. You don't know how long you're gonna be on this planet. You don't know how long your homie gonna be your homie. You just just enjoy it while you have it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because you never know when it'll be gone. That's what life has taught me.
Oh man, you definitely a young boy, old head.
Been through some things, man.
That's cool, man. It's definitely cool. And I want to say thank you for coming on here, taking the time to do this interview with me, you know, opening up, being vulnerable, sharing some things about your life. You know what I'm saying? And as Black men, this is hard for us to do in the beginning to deal with.
Yeah. Nah, for
Period.
sure.
So to do that and get through it and know how you want to articulate your response and everything, and just do the damn thing, because you definitely did the damn thing just now. I appreciate you, bro. Like, I want to say that. I appreciate you. All right.
Bro. Appreciate you having me, man.
Any shout outs? Hey, man, all day. Any shout outs you want to give?
Of course, man. I want to shout out Lady C, man. You know what I'm saying? She hooked this up.
That's a fact.
I want to shout out my mama, man. Shout out Jeff Guy. You know what I'm saying? Man. Bunch of shout outs I could do, man. Just anybody that's down with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, man, look. Anybody rocking with me, man. Yeah, y'all about to be happy, so I promise you.
Hey, man, that's what's up. Listen, Cuzzo, don't be a stranger. But listen, in the meantime, turn your camera off, but don't hang up, because we need to talk about a few things when I get off, all right?
Okay.
But, yeah, turn your camera off. I'm going to do the solo dolo. Listen, folks. Cuzzo was here. He was very vulnerable. He laid it out on the line, and he kept it real with y'all. And I appreciate that, you know. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We here. We talking that talk. We having deep talks. We keeping it strong around here. And we keeping it real out here, as always, like we always do. It's the pot, you know? So you never know what kind of artist I'm going to have. This is definitely great. Shout out to Lady C. Thank you so much. Chess Music Management. We moving and booming. You know, media department over here. We booming. So listen. Thank you, Lady C. Thank you, Cuzzo. And folks, I hope y'all enjoyed y'all July 4th weekend. And thank you for those that watched. And if you didn't watch it, come Monday, you can go on Hollywood TV and watch it on Hollywood TV. Or you can go on Dollar Radio on a Friday and listen to it on Dollar Radio. Listen, we here. We moving and booming. DDS, y'all know what it is. This is what we do. We moving in motion. We flow like the ocean. And that was off the top. We just doing our thing. Anyway, enjoy your night. Be all right. Be safe. Put God first in your life. And be positive out here. Always. All right? Until then, it's your boy. This episode was brought to you by Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Hollywood Music, Going In Radio, Dollar Radio, and the podcast with Tigmatic. It is yours truly, Tigmatic, signing off. Enjoy your night. Peace.
Everybody will tag me with the pot.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an
episode and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
And with the Pot Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down. follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.